Should be good to go. Okay, so I actually have some slides to share with you guys tonight, so I will jump into that, and then I will share it with Slay Squad so that you guys can have it to take across to your teams. You can also screenshot it, whatever you guys want to do as they're coming through. So first of all, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Nikki, and I've been coaching for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in May. And so I feel like I know a lot about this topic, and it's something that I feel really passionate about. It's something that I share with my new coaches as soon as they sign up. And the topic tonight, if you didn't see, is building your brand, not just your business. I want you guys to see the importance of you being the business, you being the brand, versus you trying to be the Beachbody brand. And I'm going to go through some examples and things like that, how we can add value and how we build our brand, how I've done that. But I do think it's super, super important for you to take a look at your brand and kind of dive into what that looks like. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and try to share my screen. You guys let me know again if you can see it when I pull it up here. Thumbs up if you can see that for me. Everybody good? Okay, cool. All right, so first things first, like I said, building your brand I feel like is such a huge part of the business. It is the reason that coaches have success. And I will start by telling you something that someone actually said to me in a message today. I was sharing the coaching opportunity. We have a Glance into Coaching group coming up this week where we share for 3 days about the coaching opportunity within our team. And someone messaged me and said, well, what is it that you do? And I thought about for a second saying the thing a lot of us say where, oh, I'm an online fitness coach and I do this, and kind of dabbling around saying that I was a Beachbody coach. And I said, no, I'm just going to say it. And I said, I'm a Beachbody coach. I've been doing it for 6 years. It's created a life of freedom for me. I used to be a teacher, and now I do this full time on part-time hours. And her response was, I don't want to quote her exactly, but it was something like, wow, I would have never guessed you're not like a lot of those other ones I've seen. And I said, thank you, I guess. And I think her point was just this, is that Beachbody is our business, but we should be our own brand, and that's what we're going to be selling. So let's kind of take a look at that. First things first, I think that we can all agree that the majority of us are building our businesses on a social media platform. Unless you are knocking on doors and you know a million people face to face that you can chat with, 99% of the people that are signing up for probably any network marketing are using social media platforms to build their business. So I've primarily switched my business over from Facebook to Instagram, and I run everything through my Instagram platform. So I'm going to ask you to ask yourself, what business do you run? What is the business that you run? And then ask yourself the other question, what is the brand that you show on social media? And those are two completely separate things. Your business is that you're a coach. You're a Beachbody coach, an independent coach. You signed up for network marketing, right? But your brand is you. It's who you are. I'm a fashion-loving, home decorating, obsessed, soon-to-be mom of 3, which is crazy, who took tools that I had with teaching and kind of developed this thriving business at home. And so what I share primarily are the pictures on the right. I'm not sharing any of those stock pictures that you see on the left, because the ones on the right are me. They're my brand. They're why people follow me. So we first and foremost need to know that in order for us to build a respectful brand that people are going to come back to, that want to come to your page, they wake up in the morning and they're like, I'm going to go check out what she's doing today. Maybe because it's predictable, or maybe because it's fun and exciting, whatever it is, that's their reason for following you. But we have to be able, as business brand builders on social media to provide value up front that is also free, okay? And it's important for you guys. I know when new coaches sign up, they're so excited. Maybe you're a new coach and this is how you kind of come off with your posts on social media, or maybe you have new coaches who you're seeing them posting this way, but they're so excited that they're now a fitness coach and they're doing Beachbody, and they're like, I'm going to post all my shakes, and I'm going to post a picture with me with my Shakeology bottle or my bag of Shako, and I'm going to share all things fitness. And your whole platform goes from your lifestyle to just everything fitness and everything Beachbody and all of the supplements. It's important to remember and to tell your team to remember, your new coaches who are finding their way in this, okay? They're learning, so we have to teach them. Fitness is a part of your brand, but it is in no way your life. I'm sure you have plenty of other things going on in your life. That's why we're all so stoked that we can do a 20-minute workout program, because we have other things to do. So the business is a part of you, but it is not your entire life. And so you need to be able to show people who are following you that you can weave this business into your actual life. It should not consume your life. It also shouldn't be hard for others to see themselves doing it as well, right? Our business is a business of duplication. And so we have to be able to show them that this is something that we're naturally weaving into our lives because it's become a lifestyle. So what values or value do you provide for your followers? It's one of the questions, I said up at the front, provide value up front, make sure it's free. So what value do you provide for your followers? I want to have you ask yourself that question. Maybe go back to your Instagram or your Facebook, wherever you're primarily running your business, and ask that question as you look at it, okay? What value do I add? So I asked myself that question. I'm like, I'm going to talk to them on this. So let's evaluate myself and see what value I feel like I add to my followers. So I screenshotted just some of the pictures that I had posted. This is, I think, actually from my Facebook page because I was on my desktop. But it's important for you to find, and I'm sure you've heard this, 3 to 5 things that are going to represent you, that maybe are your avatar, or however you've heard people word it. But find 3 to 5 things that are you, and then think about why you follow certain people that you do. I mean, believe it or not, I love health and fitness. I'm a health and fitness coach. The majority of people I follow are not health and fitness. They're in it for other things. They're on there because they're great at picture taking. They have cute kids whose clothing I like to follow, and I like to watch their style, or a fashion blogger who I'm excited to see what, clothing that she's picked out for the week or whatever it is. So I looked at my page and thought about the favorite things that I like to share right now. And I also share these not only because I like to share them, but because I know my followers like these as well. So I've looked at my insights on my business page, so I know what does best on my page so that I can reevaluate and say, what do I need to share less of and what should I be sharing more of? And then I've looked at asking simple questions. The easiest thing you can do is just ask them, what do you like to see? And so some of my things that I'm sharing right now, I picked 5, were maternity fashion, because it's hard to dress this bump. 2 is house design and decor, because we just moved into a new home. So that's something that is exciting for me that I like to do right now. Baby items, because we have a little one due in June who is a boy, and we have 2 girls right now. So lots of new things coming into the house. Prenatal workouts and my eating habits, because I do not eat perfect, and that's something that I share openly. I don't want people to feel like they have to be 100% in on something to get results. I want to show them that this, again, is a lifestyle, and you can still get results eating the things you love. And then number 5, I weave in my coaching lifestyle. And so I just kind of screenshotted all of that, and you can see I'm weaving in workouts. You can see my energize in a post. You can see my shout outs to some of the team. Fashion, obviously. and ice cream. I love ice cream. I feel like I tried to mute you guys, but it's not looking like. Okay, I think we're good there again. So there's those. So remember, I talked about adding the value. How do I add value with those previous topics mentioned? Okay, cool. You've picked your 3 to 5 things. I don't know what to post to like create that brand. What do I do now? Stop overcomplicating it, you guys. Think about the people that you love to follow and find inspiration in them. One of the best tips that I got as I guess I wasn't a new coach. I was a couple years in, was stop following only Beachbody coaches and follow other people in life who give you inspiration, because you're going to find inspiration in posting when you are following other people outside of just the Beachbody coaches. I know they can give you inspiration and motivation within the business, but you have to also find other accounts that you love, that you can look at, that you think are aesthetically pleasing, or you like their content and that sort of thing. So according to those 5 things, I broke down some of the ways that I add free value. I give tips on recipes and I meal prep, and I just share how I do that. I don't give them everything, and I'm very honest with them. They're like, why don't you share more of that? Because that's for my challengers. That's for the people who are in my group, so they have that intimate space. And that gives them a sense of FOMO. They want to be a part of that because I'm not sharing every single thing on that platform. I'm giving something extra to those people in my groups. A perfect thing to do with these, as far as recipes right now, if you guys are ultimate portion fix purchase people who have got, you're going to get your master's, your certification in that, or you just purchased it and got your product, unboxing that, sharing volume 2 of the Fixate cookbook. I got really excited going through that, and I thought to myself, how cool to be able to plate some of these and show them how the containers work with these yummy new recipes that no one's seen yet. Number 2 is self-love during a season where my body is changing so much. A lot of people who follow me have felt like, well, she's really consistently like just been thinner or more petite. And the reality is I gain 50 pounds every time I have a baby. And so my body changes on a 5'1" figure a lot. And so talking through how I'm feeling mentally, going through those changes, really relates to a lot of people who have felt that way or are feeling the same way as me. Number 3 is overcoming obstacles. You cannot always be positive. And I don't say that because I don't want you to go out and be this like negative platform. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying sprinkle in the struggles. The struggles are where you are relatable. The struggles are where people are like, I feel that too. When I share about my anxiety, when I share about my body changing, when I share about all of those things that are stressors for me, I can relate so much to so many people who reach out and say, thank you for sharing that. Like, I just thought everything in your life was perfect. And we want to make sure that we're sharing a really positive brand, but that we also are real and we have real human experiences that relate to so many other people. Number 4, how to dress your bump in fashion hauls. So I love fashion. Everyone who follows me knows that. And so I like to share how I'm dressing according to now needing maternity clothes. And so I share where I get things, where I get how I can get really cheap items, because we're going to grow in and out of these clothes in 9 months and things like that. And people love that. The other thing are cravings, what workouts I can do during my pregnancy and what supplements I take. Insert Beachbody's disclaimer to make sure that we are asking and consulting our doctor before we use certain supplements, right? But I was given the okay to use Shakeology as a prenatal. I was given the okay to use Energize and Recover and Hydrate during my pregnancy. So being able to share those things with not only my challengers, but with people who follow me are something that people like to see. They like to ask questions about that. It allows me to talk them through why I'm able to take that supplement versus another. I talk them through pregnancy workouts and ones that are non-maternity or prenatal that I just continue to do, lift 4, hammer and chisel, all of those. And then of course I talk about cravings. Number 6, progress of the house. Give them tips. Share where you purchase things. Show them deals. Allow them to swipe up and purchase a product that you bought. I do Amazon favorites. All kinds of decor tips. I like to tag all the companies that I'm purchasing from. And then nursery updates, baby questions. Everybody loves to give advice. So if you can ask them questions that allow them to engage. I'm asking a lot of baby items because so many things have shifted between babies and there's always a new product out there. And then building a business while I'm pregnant and encouraging others that they can do that as well has been something that I've continued to share consistently. Now, creating a tribe that's going to have your back like your bestie, okay? You know that you can talk to your 3 best friends and they're going to have your back no matter what. They are going to be out for blood if someone talks badly about you. Same as like your sister. I don't have any brothers or sisters, but I assume they would do that for you. And so creating a tribe on your social media platform that's going to have your back like your best friend would. As your platform grows, as your brand grows, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. Along with that, people let you know that you are not their cup of tea. And so it's nice to have, you're creating a brand when you have so many people who will come to your side and defend you and support you in those moments. So think about creating your brand to a point where you have this tribe that's always going to have your back. How do you do that? So I wrote down just a few bullet points. Respond to inbox messages. That sounds like a simple thing to do, but it is really easy to allow yourself to not respond to certain things. You guys, even if it is a simple heart back, maybe it doesn't require anything huge, but just respond in some way so that person knows that you have made an effort to engage with them. There are so many people who write back and are like, thank you so much for responding. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? That's why we're here. We are building this together. We're creating relationships. Engaging with the followers, like I said, by asking questions. You guys are doing a Q&A. And some new coaches will say, but when I say, ask me anything, no one asks me anything. Okay, well, guess what tip one of my coaches told me like last month? I know it's mind-blowing, but you can ask yourself a question and then respond to it. So if you have specific questions that you want to answer, maybe regarding the supplements or Ultimate Portion Fix that's coming out or Transform 20 or about this business opportunity, ask it in your Q&A. It's anonymous. And then you respond to it. That way, anyone who maybe has been afraid to reach out and actually ask, you're still providing that content and answering those questions that you want them to hear. Speaking frequently in your stories. And I went back and forth with this thread. I think it was like a thread of some of our top coaches talking about whether or not their followers listen to stories or not. And so you guys have to think about that. You're either a story listener or you listen or you go through it on mute. There's like no, you're one or the other. My husband listens to all of his stories on like 1,000 volumes so that the whole house can hear. And I tend to look through the stories. I don't necessarily listen to all of them. But speak in your stories so that people get an idea of your personality. They can kind of see who you are, when you're super informal, wherever that might be. Most of the time when I'm in my stories, I am not showered. I don't have makeup on or anything like that, but it allows people to just have conversations back and forth with me. Sharing your strengths and your weaknesses often. So I told you guys that that's the best way to create a relationship with your followers. Thank them for their support at certain times. If they have your back, or if you reach a certain amount of followers, or they do something that is really cool to you, thank them and show them that love and that support. Ask for their opinion. Like I said, everybody loves to give their opinion. Share tricks and tips that make your life easier that will also improve theirs. There's nothing worse than following someone who like won't let you know anything that where they've purchased anything or how they did something. It's like, I want to know that too. Help me out. So if you want something that they're not providing for you, you be that person for them. And then most importantly, your page should be you. You are building a brand of you. They come to see you. They're not coming to see your turtle, your dog, your baby, although your baby or that dog might be really much cuter than my face after my workout. You can weave those things in, but your profile picture and the majority of everything that you're posting should be you. So when it comes to selling, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're all selling something. You're selling your life. You're not selling Team Beachbody. So I was thinking just of a few different things, and I'm sure you guys could come up with a million different like A/B scenarios, but let's play a little game. What sells better? A, and it's okay if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm A. It's okay. We've all been A. I've been probably all of these A's at some point. A picture of your stock Shakeology or your bag of Shako in like terrible lighting. That was me when I first started, and I would like put all these quotes across it. Or B, you on vacation or you're out with your kids with like a frothy shake in your hand without necessarily talking about it, but it's there and it looks yummy and it's in the middle of all this other stuff going on. The other, A, an image of your pre-workout and a link to purchase. Or B, you showing yourself full of energy with your little ones because your mom crack just kicked in. A, you talking about the company and posting some kind of stock Beachbody logo. We've all done it. Or B, you at a Beachbody event, and I hinted Summit would be a really great place to start if you guys haven't gone, with your squad, talking about your community, talking about your tribe, talking about the friendships that you've made, not just virtually, but also in person. I just saw a typo. And then A, a quote from Pinterest talking about your next wellness group. It's like some random quote you just thrown in, you just kind of slapped it on there from Pinterest. Or B, transformation that's ridiculous from your latest program that you completed to a T, because that's what you're asking your challengers to do. And then storytelling, telling the story of that. We are storytellers. Our job is to help other people envision where I've been. Like, I want people to know where I've been in my life. I want them to know where I'm headed. And I want them to know that I am going to take them with me. You can come with me if you give this a shot. Okay? So speak to your tribe. You have to talk to them. You have to be storytelling in your posts. Yes, there are cute one-liners that you can do to just give them a laugh, but the storytelling needs to be weaved in there as well. So Sunday and Monday is a great time to just talk about being thankful to not dread a Monday. That's a time that I usually talk about the coaching opportunity. Why? Because I used to dread Mondays. Transformations, we talk about those, we storytell with those, sharing my story about me getting started with an at-home workout program and the skepticism. I was embarrassed to work out at home in front of my husband. Why? Because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and he didn't think that an at-home workout was going to work. During a glance group right now, I have a group starting tomorrow, talking through my fears of signing up and my fear of failing. Why am I going to storytell that? Why would I tell that to my followers? Because I said no 3 times before I said yes to this opportunity. My coach asked 3 times and I said no. And this has completely changed my life. So I want them to know that I've been there, I was fearful, and now we're here. But above all else, you guys, I want you to remember this. Okay, I want you to know that you cannot build a confident brand without confidence in yourself And confidence in your posts. You have to be confident in what you're doing. And so worrying about what this negative Nancy or sad Sally or whatever you want to call her has to say about your newfound happiness with your business or the success that you're having with your business is not going to help you build a brand. It's going to hinder you. It's going to hold you back. It's going to keep you from a life that you want to live. Worrying about what so-and-so has and what they've said or what they might say if you post a picture in your sports bra or something that you've never done is going to keep you living someone else's life. You're living that other person's life, worrying about them. I'm sure they're not at home worrying about you. They're always worried about themselves. When you post a picture, we always think about, in the beginning, we're like so worried about what other people are going to think. Just remember that those people have so many other things going on in their life. They're not worried about you. They're worried about everything else going on in their life. So you have to think that you're posting and you are building a brand for your life, for the future you're building, for the vision that you have for this business and for your family. And that's it. Not for this other person who literally makes no difference, you guys. In hindsight, it's like, why? And then I think from personal experience, what if I had let my family's thoughts of multi-level marketing or network marketing or my random neighbors' messages to me about my posts, these are true stories, my dad's skepticism and the first phone call that I had, the very first person that I talked to after I signed up, telling me that this was a big mistake, this won't work, or the countless randoms, and you guys have seen the jabs on social media about your business from jealous other people. Why in the world? What if I had let any of those things, and those are big things in that moment, your family saying something or commenting below your posts or telling you that you shouldn't have done this. I mean, those are big things that could really set you back. But I always think, like, what if I had allowed those things to set me back from the vision that I had for my life? Things would be much, much different. So I'm going to encourage you guys to find your brand, find your vision, be very strong in what your vision is for this business. Know it's crystal clear, like, this is going to happen for me. You guys, I didn't have Instagram when I started coaching. I don't remember when I started with Instagram. But now like I said, it's my primary platform. I have not done, it's all organic growth. There's almost 40,000 followers there now. So when people sign up and say, well, I don't have that kind of platform, I didn't either. That's not an excuse. You build a brand, you're going to create a tribe that wants to follow you, that wants to be a part of what you're doing. And that's what we want. We don't need to be Beachbody's Instagram. We need to be ours. And that's it. So if you guys have questions for me, I would be glad to answer, like maybe over the next 5 minutes or so. I totally missed all of this chat because I was sharing my screen. But I would love to answer any kind of questions if you guys have this. You do not need to do this full time to be successful. I have so many coaches. I just saw someone that said, I feel like I need to do this full time to be successful. And I'm telling you guys right now that you don't have to be full time to be successful. I am an example of someone who is now, but I was substitute teaching when I first started. And I have several coaches who just love their jobs outside of coaching, but they're making over $1,500 a week with coaching, and they share it sporadically. Some of them cannot be on social media during the day during their real job. So that, I feel like, is also something that you have to wipe from the excuse book and know that I am an example of someone who has gone full time, but there are so many out there that don't, that still have real success with their business. Sorry, I'm trying to answer some of these. How much of your content is on the fly and in the moment? Most of my content is on the fly and in the moment. I'm not someone who has a calendar list of what to post. If I do that, I feel like it gets really flat and really boring. I also don't get ready every day. So for me, and a lot of people have said, like, you think you have to post 3 to 5 times a day or whatever the crazy number is that you guys have heard. I post once a day or once every 2 days. So I don't feel like if I'm super active in my stories that I have to necessarily post every single day even. But when I do get ready, I like to just create, like, take a couple different pictures and have those for content if I want them. There are certain things I'm always going to share. The coaching lifestyle, the coaching opportunity, transformations, my workouts are going to be, you know, something that I weave in there. But then other posts are just kind of on the fly. I will definitely give you guys the PowerPoint. Yes. After consistently doing your power hour, how long until you were able to subsidize your income to stay home full time? So teachers don't make a lot. I'm sure you guys know a teacher. If you are a teacher, you understand that they are grossly underpaid and overworked. But I replaced my income at about 6 to 7 months. Not consistently, but like I saw that week's paycheck where it was like matched, and I thought, this is it. Like, I can do this. So that was kind of like my aha moment where I was like, now I need to just like make this happen all the time. Why did I switch to Instagram? I felt like the whole world was switching to Instagram. I don't know. I feel like a younger crowd definitely was already there. I'm kind of in that in between. Like, all my parents' friends are only on Facebook. My dad has no idea how to run Instagram, but like all of my younger cousins crush Instagram. And so I'm kind of in that in between. I'm 35 now. And I just feel like that platform was there and I needed to go there. And I did feel like a dwindle in my Facebook engagement. So that was kind of both. But I still do posts on Facebook. I still run my business over there a lot of my posts. And Instagram was hard to start. It's hard to start anything new when it's something that you're not used to. Let's see. For coaches with husbands who are not supportive, how would you guide them? That's really hard for me because, in my opinion, it's so hard. Because in my opinion, I feel like that person should be your best friend and your most supportive number one fan. My husband was very skeptical, but he was like, do it. Like, if you're going to do it, but go all in. And I say to the ones whose husbands are skeptical or not super supportive, run your business very conscious of time. A lot of times, if a spouse is unsupportive, it's because you are giving you're not balanced in your time. A lot of times you're giving more time to this than you are to them. And it's more one of those, not jealousy, but like they're wanting their time with you, which is totally normal. In the beginning, I had a hard time balancing my time. And every once in a while, my husband would be like, are you ever going to like shut that off? So I had to set business hours. I had to like really go all in with like, when am I going to work my business, and setting those hours where it was like family and time with him. Apps and filters. I'm trying to mute all these people, but I can't. Here we go. I use Lightroom, and I use the preset Dreamy presets. However, a lot of them can make you look orange or gray or whatever, and it's going to vary depending on your lighting. Like, an indoor picture with a same preset as an outdoor picture is going to look completely different. So I have to switch it up, and I definitely switch up my exposure, my blacks and whites, my tint, all of those things. So I'll put a similar preset on it, and then I kind of switch it up to make it my own. I'd actually love to create a preset and sell it. I've been thinking about that for a really long time, but I don't even know how to start with that. Let's see. Any others? I know I see file for divorce. You guys are mean. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through all of these. I'm going to answer a couple more. Do you use hey girl messages? No one feels sincere. She said, I don't feel sincere when I send those. Does anyone feel sincere when they send those? I have a hard time with those because I know a lot of people train with that, and we have definitely have videos on doing that as well. However, my biggest tip for me as far as how I have gained traction with something similar to a hey girl is, first of all, you're building this brand to create an attraction market. So that's why building your brand is so important, because you want in the end to be going from the inviting sprees to having the attraction market where people want to come to you. And so that's where you want that like transition to go. But in the meantime, what I would say is I don't love a hey girl that's very generic. I feel like I ignore them when I see them from other network marketing people. So for me, I engage through, first of all, I follow them. I follow people I genuinely like. And so I've told my team this before, but for anybody who's not on my team, I go in and I'll go not to the explore page, but instead to like my favorite Instagram accounts, which like I said, are not coaches. So bloggers or fashion bloggers or whatever. And I'll look at their latest comments underneath one of their posts. And I'll just look through who has commented below that post. And I can quickly find 10 people that I would love to follow that probably have a similar interest to me, because in some way we're following this same girl for some reason. So I will find those 10 people and I will just add them really quickly. And then the same thing that I do, like what I do after that is I just start to like and comment on their things. So when they post, their stuff pops up because we're engaged. When I'm in their stories and like looking through their stories, I'll comment on a few things. I instantly go slide into that DM, but it's not in a hey girl form. It's just like more natural to me, and have that conversation. And I don't necessarily even lead with the idea that I'm ever going to invite them, because maybe I don't think that they're a good fit. But hopefully when I post about a challenge group or I talk about the coaching opportunity, they see it, they find an interest in it. And every once in a while with those people, I will take anyone who and I don't think everyone's going to be a good fit for it, so I'm not inviting everyone. But those who I do feel like are a good fit, I'll reach out and say, after I've posted, hey, I just posted about this little group where I'm talking about coaching. I know in the past you've talked about wanting to stay home, or I relate it to something that they've shared. And I say, I do think that you could be good at this. And I also let them know I don't ask everyone, but I do think that you could be good at this. And I know if my coach hadn't asked me and invited me, my life would be drastically different. So I just wanted to extend the invite. Sometimes I say, I know you probably get annoying messages from people and I don't want to be that person for you. So if it's not something you want to do, like, no offense, like, no, I don't care. But that's how I share the opportunity or share challenge groups without it feeling so like, hey girl, copy and paste style stuff. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I am going